The ocean covers over 70% of our planet, yet more than 80% of it remains completely unexplored. Beneath the crushing pressure, in the blackest depths of the abyss, legends are born. Ancient, enormous, and utterly terrifying. Civilizations across the world have passed down stories of sea monsters so massive they defy reason. Some were protectors, others were punishers, and some were never supposed to be found. Today we reveal the 7 biggest mythical sea creatures of all time, including a monster made not from folklore, but from our own science fiction fears, Godzilla. Prepare to dive deeper than ever before. 1. Leviathan, the biblical sea dragon. In ancient Middle Eastern and biblical texts, one name strikes primal fear: Leviathan. Described in the Book of Job and later Judaic and Christian traditions, Leviathan was a vast sea serpent, coiled like chaos itself, with unbreakable scales and glowing, piercing eyes. The creature was said to exhale fire, churn oceans with its movements, and challenge even the gods themselves. In some versions, it was one of the original monsters of creation, a beast so powerful that only divine intervention could destroy it. To the ancient Hebrews, Leviathan wasn't just a monster. It was a symbol of the untamable forces of nature. Scholars believe Leviathan's myth may have been inspired by sightings of crocodiles, whales, or ancient marine reptiles. But whether metaphor or monster, its legacy is carved into religious texts and collective fear. 2nd, Godzilla, the nuclear sea titan. In 1954, a new kind of sea monster emerged, not from ancient myth, but from radioactive imagination. Godzilla, or Gojira, first appeared in Japanese cinema as a direct response to the horrors of nuclear war and atomic testing in the Pacific. But what made Godzilla truly terrifying wasn't just its scale, it was what it represented. A monster of our own creation, a walking warning, a titan born from humanity's arrogance. Rising from the sea, Godzilla brought with him destruction, rage, and the sobering realization that the ocean still held secrets we couldn't understand or control. Over the decades, his size has changed, from 50 meters to nearly 120. But the myth grew larger than the monster. Today, Godzilla is no longer just a fictional kaiju. He is a modern sea god, one that asks, what if our nightmares could rise from the deep? 3. Kraken, the tentacle terror. No myth strikes fear into the hearts of sailors quite like the Kraken. In Norse and Scandinavian legend, the Kraken was described as a squid or octopus so immense that it could wrap its arms around a ship and drag it, crew and all, into the abyss. The creature was said to cause whirlpools merely by surfacing. Entire fleets were rumored to vanish without a trace after an encounter. For centuries, the Kraken was dismissed as sailor superstition, until scientists began to discover the giant squid. With eyes the size of dinner plates and tentacles lined with hooks, these real-life monsters can reach lengths of over 40 feet, possibly even longer. If such creatures exist, how far does the legend truly stretch? 4. Megalodon, the prehistoric monster reborn. Megalodon is perhaps the only creature on this list that we know did exist, and that makes it all the more terrifying. Measuring over 60 feet in length with jaws powerful enough to crush bone and steel, Megalodon was the apex predator of prehistoric seas. But despite going extinct millions of years ago, it never left our imagination. Modern myths persist. Sonar blips in the Mariana Trench, enormous bite marks on whales, strange shadows seen by deep-sea submersibles. Could a species of Megalodon have survived in the uncharted depths? Most scientists say no, but that hasn't stopped films, documentaries, and conspiracy theories from resurrecting this ancient terror. Because if Megalodon still exists, we would never see it coming. El Grand Maja, the Spanish sea demon. Off the coasts of Spain and Latin America, sailors whispered of a creature far older than memory, El Gran Maja, a monstrous black sea serpent, hundreds of meters long. El Gran Maja was said to haunt caves and deep-sea trenches. It moved silently beneath ships and coiled around them like a snake around prey, crushing wood and dragging entire vessels to a watery grave. Its red, glowing eyes and slick, armored skin became the stuff of nightmares for generations of fishermen. There are no photos, no sonar scans, only silence, and the stories of those who almost didn't return. The ocean has a long memory, and some monsters never forget. 6. The Bloop, Ocean's Unsolved Sound. In 1997, the U.S. National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, picked up a strange sound in the South Pacific. It was loud, powerful, and organic. Scientists dubbed it the Bloop. The frequency of the sound resembled that of a living creature, but to produce a noise that large, the creature would have to be larger than anything known to science. Officially, the sound is now attributed to ice quakes or shifting glaciers. But some researchers remain skeptical. What kind of animal can generate a sound that echoes across thousands of kilometers of ocean? Whatever it was, it remains hidden, deep, and possibly alive. 7. Akyos, the shark-headed sea demon. From the darker corners of Greek mythology comes a name few remember, but none would forget: Akyos. Said to be the son of the river goddess Styx and a monstrous ocean deity, Akyos was a humanoid demon with the head of a shark and a hunger for battle. Some depictions show him tearing ships apart with jagged teeth. Others portray him as a warning, a punishment sent to those who defy the sea. Though not as famous as Poseidon or the Hydra, Akyos represents something even more primal. The idea that the ocean doesn't just contain monsters, it breeds them. Myth, science, fear. Whether ancient stories or modern anomalies, one truth remains. The ocean is vast, it is powerful, and it is still mostly unknown. We may never see these monsters face to face, but their stories remind us of something deeper, that the most terrifying thing in the sea is what we haven't discovered yet.